Hello everyone and welcome to my huge Lego city layout, which spans over 100 square feet, I haven't looked that up, and over 100,000 pieces. This is of course a huge project, and now I'm gonna take you all on a tour of it. And make sure to leave a like if you think you're gonna enjoy this Lego city tour. You know what? Let's start a city tour on the main street. That's where it's all going down, that's where business is being made, that's where the big guys are meeting up. You can see all of the biggest buildings in the city are concentrated on this one street. It looks very epic, I have to say, if I'm gonna be honest. And kind of unbiased actually. There are these two creator modulars, then the one set from, or the building from that Marvel set, and some smaller Lego creator sets. And it appears that the arrest of Mickey Mouse himself is taking place. I apologize to our younger viewers who have to experience and witness this horrible but kind of historic event taking place. It appears that the arrest has blocked off one of the lanes on the street, and a news crew in their news van has come to the place to maybe make a report on the event, which will be very interesting. You can also see how this is kind of the center of the city, which makes sense for it being the main street. This is also a pretty impressive street, but it is, kind of the calmer of the two streets. It has less stuff going on, and it's kind of, well, not boring, but it's kind of the more boring street. But hey, at least they have a very, okay, not so beautiful park, but that's because it's a work in progress, But I mean, there has to be something good about living on the street, but I'll get back to that. I won't. I know what I said about this park just a second ago, but if you just take a step back and take an honest and objective look at the park as a whole, you will notice that it's probably one of the most beautiful parks made in Lego form. Now, I'm just trying to be humble, so I'm not gonna flex it, but just take a good look, because that's gonna be the best park you're gonna see in a long time. And off the side there's just a bridge design that I'm trying out, because this one looks kind of crappy, I was kind of thinking about switching up the places of these two creator sets, because this one has more height, and it also has both a cafe and a pet shop, so it looks better. I think it will look better to put it on the main street, because that's the street where I have the most shops, whereas the other one it's essentially just a family house, so it will look a lot better, I think, being closer to the park. These are just some random sets that I didn't have a better place to put on, so they're just here temporarily. And now we've come to the beautiful, underfunded and lovely school. In front of that there's the very exciting intersection with one direction leading straight into a Lego store and the other one straight into a white wall. And this is probably the best thing in this part of the city. The money laundering, the Octane gas station, which looks really good if I'm gonna be honest. As we move on to the beach area, you can see there is quite a big gap between the road and the beach. I'm actually planning on making a parking lot right in here between, because I don't actually have a lot of space in my city to, put cars. So that would actually work as a pretty nice transition between like the road and the beach. And you can see a pretty humongous shark. I don't really know where the Coast Guard guy has gone, but I'm thinking that the shark probably has something to do with that. Further here you can see the harbor area and this pretty old Lego Friends boat parked here. Here we can also see the pretty cool crane. It's a mock that I've made some time ago. And this big open space right here, the light gray base plate, is going to be the harbor area with like a bunch of containers and just in general harbor stuff. I'm also planning on making maybe a fence to just secure the area from intruders. Moving on from the harbor area and the main street, we get to the residential area. Now the first thing that's gonna strike you right like the second that you enter this area are the super ugly base plates. I'm just sorry, the city has a lot of funding issues with a lot of tax evasion going on, so they just don't have enough money to modernize the streets where the people actually live. You will also be greeted by this huge wedgie in the middle of the road, which is kind of unpleasant to look at, but whatever. You'll also notice how most of the buildings or houses here are official Lego sets, except for the little blue house, which kind of has a questionable design, you could say. You'll also notice a bunch of these, what can you call them, like midget cars, rode up on the side of the street. I'm really sorry for that, that's just how it's got to be, so please don't get offended by it. As I said before, there is a huge parking lot crisis going on all throughout the city. There is no place for people to put their cars. And now you've seen my entire Lego city. I really hope you enjoyed it. Of course, this is a work in progress, as you can see on a lot of places, but it's still really cool and I'm very proud of everything that's been made so far. If Jangbricks was to build a Lego city, this is probably what it will look like. I do accept both ideas and suggestions for the city, so if you happen to have any, make sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll make sure to check them out. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, as I'm sure you did, and make sure to subscribe. That's all for this time, guys. See you in the next video.